Welcome back, everyone. Week 11 is now over. It's time for a new top 25. These were my 25 ranked teams before last week's results. Here is my updated top 25. Oregon remains at number 1, BYU is at number 2, Ohio State at number 3. Georgia drops following the loss at Ole Miss, however not very far. They're still at 4. Indiana is at 5. Alabama moves up to 6 with the win at LSU. Penn State moves up to 7 after blowing out Washington. Miami falls to 8 with their loss at Georgia Tech. SMU is at 9. Ole Miss moves up to 10 after their win against Georgia. Texas moves up to 11 with their blowout win over Florida. Notre Dame blows out Florida State, moves up to number 12. Tennessee's at 13. Texas A&M at 14. South Carolina moves up to 15 after winning at Vanderbilt. LSU lost at home to Alabama and drops to 16. Kansas State's at 17. Colorado moves up to 18 with their win at Texas Tech. Louisville's at 19. Iowa State lost at Kansas. They dropped to 20. Clemson is at 21. Pittsburgh lost at home to Virginia and drops to 22. Arizona State moves back into the rankings. They beat UCF last week, but this move is more due to other teams falling than their win being very impressive. Boise State, though they won against Nevada, it was a poor performance at home, and so they slide down to 24. And Missouri also gets back into the rankings with their win over Oklahoma. Although similar to Arizona State, this is largely other teams losing. This is my best guess at what the CFP rankings will look like on Tuesday night. I've not looked at the AP poll to try to use that. I've just tried to look at the rankings last week, figure out why teams are where they are, and figure out what they'll do this week. Georgia behind Alabama and Ole Miss seems to fit with how the committee typically does things. Georgia has lost to both Alabama and Ole Miss. They have the same record as both those teams, and they have clearly played worse than Alabama and Ole Miss this season. Miami is a little trickier, but given that they have Cam Ward and Xavier Restrepo, who are well-respected players, big stars, I expect them to get the same kind of treatment as Texas, Penn State, and Tennessee, and be above Indiana and BYU. A lot of different ways the back of the top 25 could go. Missouri could easily be lower. Missouri could easily be left out of the top 25. But given that they won and they still have some well-known players, I'm just moving them up to 21 here. Pittsburgh, I have the lowest of these two lost teams because no one really knows any of Pittsburgh's players. LSU and South Carolina could easily be in the top 25, although, South Carolina wasn't last week. They really should be, but The committee will probably have LSU ahead of them with the same record and a win over South Carolina at South Carolina. South Carolina really has as good a case to be in as Louisville, but it seems like Louisville is only in because the committee wanted them above Clemson and they wanted Clemson in. So I am doubtful that South Carolina will be in, even though they absolutely should be. Going back to my own rankings here, there are 3 games this week involving 2 of my ranked teams. Number 4, Georgia is hosting number 13, Tennessee. Number 15, South Carolina is hosting number 25, Missouri. And number 21, Clemson is going to number 22, Pittsburgh. However, I should point out that while Missouri is ranked, they have not performed at a high enough level this season to be expected to be a serious test for another team while playing on the road. A team, however, that is facing more of a test is number 16, LSU, playing at Florida. I'll try to get another video out on the CFP rankings later this week after they're released. Bye for now.